Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl as always, Tricilia. If you're new to my channel, welcome and please subscribe. If you aren't, then welcome back. So I want to talk about the things I've struggled with in my Christian walk. The first thing that I really struggled with was worldly music, right? I had a very difficult time when I had to let go. I didn't really see the importance of it. I didn't know why it was so important not to listen to worldly music and to listen to music that only glorified God, right? I was always thinking, well, why is that such a big deal? Why can I not listen to it? And of course, I was so stubborn. I used to be like, well, there is no Bible verse that says that I cannot listen to it. All right, the Bible says that everything is allowed. Believe it or not, we are allowed to do whatever we want to do, but not everything has a purpose. Even now, I do have a hard time with it. Sometimes when I'm walking around in a city or in a car or in a store and there is a certain music I used to listen to, sometimes I do catch myself, singing along. And I remember the day I got baptized, that same day I had to delete all my songs. Like, I had a hard time doing that before my baptism. And right after I was baptized, I deleted it. I really don't want to be a hypocrite and be like, oh, it was so easy to do that. No, it wasn't. I had a hard time. I really had a hard time. But I do know that it's possible, because I do know that with God, everything we desire is possible. It was hard. Like, after the few weeks, I was still, I call it the baptism mood. I was still in that mood of being clean, of starting all over again. But there were times where I really felt like, oh my God, like, I do miss my music. Because we're not gonna lie, worldly music does hit differently than gospel music. Another thing I've struggled with was letting go of certain relationships and friendships. Not everyone goes with you in every single level of your life. Those people will always keep me in that place. They would always keep me in a space where I feel like whatever I was doing was not glorifying God, right? And so if I could not stop doing those things, I had to cut those people off. And that was very harsh, because a lot of friendships were like 6-7 years, and I had to. Letting go and letting God was really one of the hardest things I had to do for my Christian walk. Another thing I found very hard is the needs that your body has. But a lot of things that our body requires does not glorify God. To choose to say no to certain things was truly hard. To say no to alcohol, for example, to say no to going to certain parties, to say no to certain relationships. But after I gave my life to Christ, I really had to cut off the partying. And it is so sickening to see that so many people try to pretend that they're perfect. I've done it for a long time, I'm not gonna lie. I've tried to convince my people to give their life to Christ. Meanwhile, I was not leading a life that was worthy of me being called a Christian. My personal relationship with God was really flat up until December 2019. Before that, I just think I was a Christian at the surface. I was going to church, I was singing, but I feel like I did not have that relationship with God, and that was the thing I had to build up. When you're at the surface, you don't really feel bad whenever you sin. I used to be like, well,
God will understand, God will know my heart is pure.
Another thing that I had to let go of was my way of dressing. I'm not gonna lie, it's something that I really do still struggle with. I still struggle with the fact that I have to be covered up most of the time. I will post certain pictures of me, when I used to dress, however, so you guys will see that it was so bad. And back then I used to go to church, I used to go to church, and still I was doing certain things. And I really want to find a style where I feel like my body is feeling good, is being valued, but also I'm not overexposing, because that's something I used to do a lot. I used to wear jeans, wear a lot of big openings. I used to wear crop tops. I used to have very big cleavages out. Whenever someone would talk to me about my way of being dressed, I would just be like, I'm not dressing for you. I'm not dressing for men. I'm not dressing to impress someone. I am not trying to be the perfect Christian. But after a time, I did see what the Bible says about it. I did see that it is already a sin when you are leaving the house like that and you have other people looking at you and possibly wanting to do something. Another thing is my way of talking. I have a very aggressive tone. I used to curse a lot, like a lot. Like when I read my old tweets, my old Facebook posts, I realized that I really came a whole long way, and that is something I struggle with. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do curse. Sometimes when I'm angry, I do speak very violently. I do say things that are not really worthy of me as a Christian, and I do struggle with that. So when I pray, I do ask God to really take away that urge for me to curse or to talk badly, because I feel like curse words really have passion and it is so bad for me to say, but it's the truth. I curse less than I used to. Like in the past, I used to use the F word in everything, every sentence. I wanted the people that I'm talking to feel what I'm trying to say. Another thing that I struggle with is really trusting God, and it's maybe crazy because you're like,
you're a Christian, how are you not trusting God?
I'm someone that likes to have control over everything. I'm someone that likes to take care of my stuff myself. Even when things are going wrong, I want to be in control. So being a Christian and really having a relationship with God had to humble me and to really teach me how sometimes I had to let go and let God. And it really became one of my favorite sentences. Whenever I want to get angry, I want to react, I'm like, Tricilia, let go and let God. So trusting God that he has a better plan for me, those are the things that your good sis struggles with on a daily basis. It has no point for me as a Christian to pretend that I am perfect. I'm not helping the person that's looking up to me or the person that wants to be a Christian. I'm not helping them. I'm giving this false image of being a Christian that doesn't struggle with anything, but I do struggle with a lot of things daily. But I do know that with God's help, we will get there. So I do want to encourage every other Christian that watches me, you don't have to be perfect in the eyes of the man. I think God does look at the heart. I think God does know that you're trying, that you're struggling, because if you were perfect, you wouldn't need God. Whenever I struggle, I do think like that to myself. I say, if I was perfect, I would never need Jesus and I wouldn't even be on earth. The struggle is temporary. It stops after time. When you trust God, you master it, and then everything will be fine. So thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll see you guys next time.